So Hui, range-wise here, is going to have to get a lot done against this Corki, because even though you have Vi and you have the Nautilus, Corki is just so easy to play around with his Valkyrie, with Package, and they have insane engage with the Ash Arrow, they have Rel.
And this time actually destroy the enemy Nexus.
It is the end of one of your summoners, at least.
Oh yeah, as Jiwoo, he's going to be spotted here by Beryl, throwing down a frost shot, as Jonah Strong is also going to get a little bit confused. Just wanted to really...
Not worth the risk without enough vision there from KT, and they're just going to go ahead and start off the blue buff of Nongshim to mess up the jungling here early for Sylvie, which I really do like.
Okay, well, that is a little bit of a hook here from Peter, as Deft already down to about 300, but Jiwoo basically doesn't have a health bar left, so I'm not sure about this. Of course, we do know that Ashe Kalista are very powerful. They did come a quite greedy way through.
Yeah.
Already half a plate. It's BDD. Already has to flash here in this mid lane. Thank you, Jonah Strong, for letting us know. And that is 120 health that he is down to, as Sylvie can just hop over this wall. This is so dangerous. And he is going to be spotted. Vault Breaker going to come on through there. Oh, no! Just doesn't even find the fast bomb, as Sylvie's able to walk it off, and that's first blood.
Yeah, no fast bomb, not enough damage there, and that's going to be first blood going over to Silver. So what was a disastrous start for him? He was... Sylvie going to come over here, but he's already gotten the first of them, and I just don't think it's a good idea for Sylvie to contest this because Wei was backing, so not going to be able to do much. So Pyoshik gets this, and they should be able to turn this into another attempt on the Dragon bottom side now. That all the time when it was Renekton meta, so we just don't have a ton of information about how comfortable he is on this pick.
No, Sylvie. Yeah, in a lot of trouble here, as he does have the Aftershock that is now not going to be doing anything. BDD in the Fog of War. Fiesta's moving on over, but Sylvie is just going to be taken down first. That's a kill for BDD. Oh,
yikes.
Disaster for Nongshim, and now Fiesta, he's going to try and get back to the minion wave, and thankfully that rocket is not going to land. That one does, though, and Pyoshik is just going to find the crash down on top of him. Magnus Storm to keep the way in place. He does manage to get a fear, but I don't think he's getting out of the way of this one. That's a cheeky little auto, and even Pyoshik going to live through it just fine. 2 kills on the Corki.
Bottom lane, which we haven't been watching, is also getting obliterated off screen by this pick that they gave up instead. Let's see if this works out. Ult advantage.
Yeah, Sylvie moving on over is Perfect. Going to have to flash to get himself out of the way. I do really like flashing very early, and that is going to get him out of the way of cease and desist. So Sylvie once again.
Okay, it does actually have it over the wall. Didn't have it in the tri-brush, so it is able to see Peter there and react.
Yep.
And they're losing control of this very quickly. I mean, BD is ready.
Yeah, Arrow is going to connect. Package is going to be delivered. They do manage to get a red buff, but Sylvie makes it out. Now Peter, he goes in, but he's on top of the package. He just took so much damage. And now Perfect's going to show up. He's going to be that front line. And yes, piercing arrows land. The Hui damage lands, but the front line not going to be able to offer too much. And Dindin not even there. No teleport available. That will mean that this second dragon goes over to KT. And I'm really glad I went on an Ocean Soul rant.
In there, I'm going to turn this. But then it goes over the packages. Jiwoo's in trouble.
He is in a lot of trouble, as he is going to cleanse the slow. But there's a flash volley to come in, and Deft, he already had that auto attack in the air, so even after the flash, Jiwoo is still dead.
Shot as well, just to guarantee. Oh, no.
There's another one, but it is going to go wide. Looked beautiful, though. Thank you very much for that, Beryl.
Yeah, he's really just showing us how fast those can travel.
Yeah, and how fast they come off cooldown as well. As, all right, Perfect, gonna throw down the Dominus. Here's a Hex Splash over from Peter, who gets amongst it, but he doesn't really want to hook Pyoshik. Now BDD, he gets in amongst it. It's not really that good of a Magnet Storm, but Peter just explodes. What was that? Now Beryl is chasing Fiesta down. Jiwoo comes in but doesn't hit the Chains of Corruption. The Crocodile is still going to fall, and they lock down the Rift Herald, and somehow Pyoshik just exits.
I mean, he's Rel. He's going to get those, and he does, and he gets away because he has Splash. And now Jiwoo is isolated.
Beryl is just chasing him down. Now, Bidity is in here as Fiesta wants to come on over. Crushing Maw does come on through. Oh, the Vault Breaker is avoided by BDD. And even sidesteps that one, finds the rocket. Pyoshik comes back in again. He's like, I flashed out. That might have been a mistake because I kind of want to fight here. It's Dindin. He'll show up. He has more than half of his health bar. Oh man, this game is crazy.
This game is
Perfect unfortunately did fall down a little bit earlier on. Pierce not going to land there as Chains of Corruption also going to go wide. The arrow will connect though, and thankfully Jiwoo has a cleanse for it. But now 4 members are bearing down on this outer turret. Yeah, that is that's 6 grubs. So
I think Peter's happy the dredge line didn't connect. So let's group for Baron, and what can Nongshim reasonably hope to offer back? I mean, BDD has TP as well. He can back. And Fiesta, I mean, can he clear this wave? Looks like with the TP, the answer is no.
Yep, not going to be able to. Flashes over the Shattering Strike, that's definitely good, but he can't flash that because he doesn't have to. And there goes the way. Is that going to be enough to get them a Baron? I don't think so. I mean, it's a Corki composition. Added security, but they've also got Pyosik on Rel. So, I mean, this is not a 50-50. This should be more like an 80-20. Let's see what Nongshim can actually do to try and mitigate it. The Rocket's not necessarily landing as there's the Fate's Call onto Beryl. Cease and desist does come in, but Sylvie, he's so incredibly low, he's taken down as the Baron just ignored now. The Callista will be taken out. Jiwoo finding himself some relative safety, and there's a Cassante, and he is starting to pop off in this one. Jiwoo just untouched, and KT are on the floor.
Yeah, I thought that was a really nice engage from Nongshim. It was really clean. The flank comes through.
KT, of course, feeling that they did have a large advantage, and they still do. The Rebel Baron power play already at 1,500, but Nongshim are still pretty far behind. Soul point available as Fiesta going to take an arrow to the face, and the package also burning him down. Still, they are able to take down the Corki, but in goes Pyosik. That Magnet Storm is so much better as Sylvie dives in, but it is more of just a sacrifice, and Perfect is going to get his revenge as Peter and Pyosik going to be fighting. Oh, gets in front of the dredge line. Nicely done there from Pyosik. And Peter will be taken out with the help of Beryl, and that is going to be the ace.
This fight just illustrates that Nongshim need a lot more setup. They need a flank when they're this far behind. They just don't have the tools to fight KT in the neutral. When KT get to fight on their terms with a package, it's not even a fight. It's a slaughter. Not even close. Nongshim had that one heroic fight on the Baron. We'll give them that. That was a really nice flank from Sylvie.
They're still here. And this is 6 grubs, remember.
Yeah, they're just going to win the game.
There's 1 second left onto Fiesta, but there is only 1 Nexus turret left. Ah, okay, well, I mean, this game went from, like, Nongshim just managed to take a Baron, but to over. Now it's over.
It's over if they were going to come back.
Yeah, and you can see Colmeet looking a little bit confused in the back there, because honestly, I am too. I felt like we did have at least a couple more minutes in that one, but wasn't to be the case. Jiwoo almost doubling the damage of Deft in this game. I think this was mainly about Perfect and especially about BDD and the fact that he got himself a lot more lane presence as well, as Nautilus is going to be opted in for. So Beryl not even interested in collecting the Rakan, because of course it's a lot more difficult to lock down the Zeri with a Rakan because she runs so fast. That could be a difficulty. Let's jump onto the Rift here for game number 2.
With scissors, Talia surfing, it's all dangerous on the Rift.
Oh, Jiwoo, no. This is not how we start this game off.
No, he's fine. Don't worry.
He's all right.
No way Beryl flashes on him, right?
I'm really... Okay, the Ghost is going to come out, and so Beryl isn't going to flash. I think if the Ghost didn't come out, he was flashing, 100%.
When Ahri was becoming a lot more popular, and we saw Talia be incredibly successful during this time, we saw BDD rise to popularity with his Talia pick recently when Azir was super popular, not just this season, but last season as well.
Gets a ward down.
Okay, this is bad.
Yeah, looking for a little bit of an opportunity towards this bottom side. No vision available. Hook is going to hit max range there from Beryl as he flashes to get the snare onto the Zeri, but she is able to surf over any wall.
Crushing T1 is, I'm going to have to hold my thought on this, as Dundun is in danger.
He is in a lot of danger. As Perfect going to come on over. Does get the Q onto Pyosik though, as you can see. Vaultbreaker comes in as Pyosik going to have to try and get out of here, but he's unable to, and that is going to be first blood going to Dundun as KT have a little bit of an accident underneath the turret. One of those times where Zeri can massively outscale, because Xayah does do a lot of damage as well, very similar range. As Sylvie and Pyosik are both in here. Cease and desist comes down as Perfect's got the needlework, and that means that a lot of damage over to Nongshim, and they are not killing the Gwen. Not in this exchange, but still, great answer there to keep Dundun alive. Yeah, I am a little bit worried for Jiwoo's safety.
He's playing this so well. It's
nicely done.
Third time this game where he's just like, this might happen to me, so I'm going to be just in range of the wall and skate out.
He's dead even, neck and neck between these two squads.
The problem,
okay, it might be, this might make it not as neck and neck as Perfect is chasing after Dundun, and there's now a big old wall that's in the way. He is dashing though, that all out onto BDD was fantastic. Absorbs the CC. The flash comes forward from BDD as now Dundun still running, but the threaded volley will track him down, and that is a kill for the mid laner on KT.
Yeah, and so these advantages are just really starting to give KT such an edge. As another flip
Yeah,
Barrel.
He's going to come on through. That is beautiful delivery from BDD. Nothing that Callme could do about that whatsoever. And that is going to be another one for the Taliyah. And when it's piloted by BDD, if you're a Nongshim fan,
Goes
this
down.
is what yeah, and it's a Taliyah, so like you say, has to be a flash. All right, Beryl not going to quite find a hook here. A cease and desist into the back line as immediately the Taliyah is taken down. Deft is somewhat free hitting, but he has to flash to get out of there because we are having a Zeri moment. And Jiwoo going to be able to take down the Dragon. What is it with grouping around objectives and KT all going boom?
Yeah, I don't know.
So therefore, not going to be a very happy Deft in that particular fight, and especially not a happy BDD is, okay, Callme going to dive on top of Beryl here, who does manage to get the aftershock, but otherwise, yeah, he's really dead. That is 4 versus Nautilus. This is definitely Nongshim cruising towards a late game situation. Is now
Callme.
Deft. Yeah, Callme is going to find him here as Deft is not going to get hit by the charm. Now Callme is out of cooldown still. Deft is going to be in trouble. Does have to use the Feather Storm in order to avoid the Ahri. We mentioned already, if you have Ahri Vi and you're not using it in the mid game, then you're doing something wrong. And Nongshim, they're not doing anything wrong. Not yet, anyway. As Beryl, he's going to throw his anchor away, does have to use his ult onto Jiwoo with no one around. It's a decent seismic shove, but now Jiwoo's taking matters into his own hands. Deft, no Feather Storm, remember, and he does look for it, but he's not going to find it. Jiwoo down to about 100 as BDD gets to the relative safety of his turret, but does not find the seismic shove.
Nongshim making this mid-game work. I thought for sure.
KT so far today, as now Callme looking for that opportunity. Seismic shove on cooldown. Pyoshik comes in to try and answer this though, as Callme's out of essence, but he's not out of teammates. Peter and Jiwoo making their way in as Jiwoo skates his way towards wrapping around from the enemy red buff, and KT, the map kind of shrinking on them is what I can feel. Nice dash from Jiwoo, not going to get jump scared by Beryl here. This is the Weaver's Wall, not going to do anything. I think that relied on that hook landing. Beryl and BDD trying to get this communication sorted out. We mentioned already that ult plus seismic shove combo is really important. Beryl does find a hook there, but that seismic shove, that's not going to hit Beryl. That's not going to move him back as Featherstorm going to lift Deft up into the air, but then he has to fall all the way back down to the death chamber.
You actually have follow-up, but you don't, and Jiwoo's there, he's going to press R.
All right, speaking of pressing R, Sylvie is going to press it onto this Gwen, who I think had managed to make her way out of the game.
Vision control right now for Nongshim.
Yeah, and Nongshim had their AD carry in the bottom lane. They will spot this out, but this is a fair bit of damage going into the Baron. Callme now moving on over, teleport in from Dindin, and perfect, he's already shown up, so it is going to be a 5v5. In goes Callme, but he gets hooked! There's the seismic shove combo, finally they find it! It is going to be the Baron locked up, and now Jiwoo, is this going to be the Zeri moment as he flashes? I don't know about that one, and he's torn apart by the Viego! Now the all-out from Dindin, but I just don't think it's going to be enough!
No
and
way.
Everything you can do, I can do better, Wolf, I guess is how this one goes, because Nongshim were in complete control, just like KT in game 1, and then a Baron, and then it's all gone. Maybe now the game's going to be over in 3 minutes and Nongshim win.
I don't know about that. I think this is a different scenario. BDD going to get the shove here. He's totally fine. He actually wins these. Pyoshik's here. Dindin is in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, he's running out of dashes this time around. He does see what's ahead of him, but I don't know about that because he's walking the wrong direction, ladies and gentlemen. Deft is now towards this top side. He's going to be able to take down this inner turret. Teleport is going to come through from Callme, so that is going to save that one as Dindin well and truly merry jaunt as there is the kill on Dindin. Beryl is going to shake his hand and say goodbye.
300, and the map controls back there.
6,000 gold Baron power play.
Yeah.
It is just
it's a massive swing.
It's insane. And now Callme, he's down extraordinarily low, has to use all of his charges in getting. Yeah, exactly. KT not wanting to let that one go over as Nongshim with that soul point, there's so much extra power as, of course, Beryl is just going to Hex Flash over. Nice charm is going to connect, though, as the Gwen damage pretty high. Dindin struggling to get over this wall as BDD can't quite find the CC, but still, that is Wild Growth used onto a Cassante. And so now Jiwoo so much more vulnerable, and they just give up the Chemtech Drake. But really smart from Nongshim, because they can. They can give up as many of these as they want, unless it's 4.
And yeah, he's really hurting them.
Sylvie going to spot this ward. BDD not going to be able to find the shove. Pyoshik chasing after him. Oh my god! Okay, perfect. That's a lot of damage.
Yeah, if he gets to stack a Q on him, he will take half his health bar. So it's really about spacing as KT are once again to start the Baron. But this time Nongshim are much closer. And Call Me does have teleport.
Yep, so does Perfect, so they can follow. But look, it's just gone. It is just wiped out. The Extendo Beam almost made it, but KT just kind of highway robbery, and in goes Sylvie. Cease and Assist comes down, but Def just puts him away. The Viego's taken out, though. There's the ulti from Jiwoo. Has to flash out immediately. The all-out, the chains position. That was so weird. But there's the Featherstorm as Def tries to get underneath the turret. Flashes out of the way, but Jiwoo is still up and still so dangerous. My God, BDD almost does it, but it is not enough, and it's a Quadra for the Zeri. There's the moment you were talking about, Wolf.
It just keeps happening, man. This game feels so predictable to me. Best of trying to front to back and blow somebody up. You just need time if you're KT with this Gwen and the Talia Leandri's damage.
Well, there's a Weaver's Wall, and Pyoshik not going to be able to steal away the Drake, as the Heartbreaker did bring him in there, thankfully. Oh, the Charm! It is going to go wide, as now Def has to use the Featherstorm, but then Cease and Assist is going to come through. The Zeri's going to lock him down, and now it is just all Nongshim. Protect the Jiwoo is the thing, and the GA was put to great use there, as we could see. BDD going to be wiped out. That's a triple kill. And Nongshim will now march up the bottom side of the map and look to end this game.
Nongshim, be careful who you make fun of in the laning phase, you know? They had the big glow up when we got to mid-game. Call Me, yeah, he's 20 CS down on BDD. He is not active in the lane. He's got no power there, but when he gets active on the map and they take control, they get this area ahead. Sure, there were some rocky moments, but ultimately this area is just too big to fail.
Yep, and this Gwen was not immune. The Nexus turrets will fall down, and Nongshim will bring us to a game 3.
With some of those early kills coming over for Zeri, it felt like, okay, well, they just can't do it. And they were struggling to set up team fights. But that's why the vote goes over to Jiwoo, because eventually he was able to team fight beautifully on the Zeri and has top damage in the game.
And look at that, 7,000 gold swing there as KT were able to take that sneaky Baron. And I think that's... Just have to see how Dundun's going to be able to play this one out, or whether this is indeed going to be what he settles on. He's not often that big punish type player, so it might just be the tank off, as we can see. Of course, Udyr does do a fair bit of early game damage, a lot of lane control as well with all of his AoE. Very interested to see what's going to happen here in game number 3. They're impressed by our fan chant ability, and I do not blame them whatsoever. Pyoshik and Perfect waiting here on this blue buff, as Dundun just goes to spend some time with them. There we go. This is interesting.
Well, look at that.
Does a lot of damage to both of them.
Exactly, that's the thing. He loses a ton of his health bar here and will slow down the jungle start, and he's probably not going to really pay for this too much. Like, this isn't going to bother him at all.
And so a bit of a battle between the junglers. Beryl does have priority, like you were talking about, so he can rotate over, and in fact, BDD has moved first as well. Has the health lead over Call Me as well. Face checking at Talia is very, very dangerous. So this could be our first scuffle. Bit of a 4v4 at 3.5 minutes. You love to see it. Hook going to come down. That is going to be the blue buff for Pyoshik, but there's the seismic shove. Deft is able to pick up first blood as well, and it's a disaster so far for Nongshim. The flash forward, the double kill. Deft is going to go down, but he's probably going to type worth in all chat as Jiwoo is almost going to fall. Not quite going down. It's the Gromp! The Gromp! No! Nongshim's worst enemy! The Gromp!
Oh! No! Oh, he's so angry! Why does he have to do it to him like that? Look at his face as well in the player cam!
Just off the Gromp.
Oh no!
Alright,
we're gonna listen.
제리 2킬 먹긴 했는데 이거.
아이득이.
Not bad.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
두꺼비 뭐냐고!
두꺼비한테 다 망했는데.
진짜.
What are you doing, Grumpy?
Once again!
Yeah, that's a little bit rough.
All right,
that was the least important part of that fight, I would say.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like, the fact that Zeri gets 2 kills and dies is still already a trade up. A kill for Pyoshik, it's significant, but it's not, you know, it's not the worst part of this, as Dundun should be fine here, but that's going to be another grub going over. At least Sylvie picked up one of his own. Fight, that angle for BDD is just why KT are so good in early games. It's just like game 1. They made the same pressure. Oh, okay, Dundun.
Yeah, there's the all out as Dundun's going to be pulled back. Does get the boot, but Perfect doesn't seem to worry about that one. Looking to dash after him. That's not the cue that he was looking for, and Dundun runs really fast. Especially with Ghost now activated. Perfect holds on to his. Out throwing some rocks on in, but Call Me deals with the minion wave. And he's now going to look forward. Okay, there is a seismic shove as he goes down to 50% health. But now Nongshim, they have their eyes on the prize. They're looking for BDD, who flashes over the wall. Now Deft diving in. He has the ulti running as Jiwoo just getting shot by these burst fires over and over. BDD doesn't want to be tanking up this dragon anymore. There was the hook. Somehow lands onto Deft. The Drake is going to be taking another two-man shove from a 50 health to Leah, but still the Vi is going to go down. There's a flash forward from Jiwoo. Deft, he didn't have the skate and he can't get over that wall. Seismic shove once again as PDD throws Call Me exactly the right direction. And Nongshim, they win the fight, but they don't get the Drake.
They don't get it. And they have no idea.
Yeah, and there is a Drake up and available as well. As if this dive was actually successful, is Seismic Shove going to connect onto Peter? There's the Magnet Storm over the wall, and Jiwoo just barely pulled in. Cease and Assist will be the end of him. And right when I was talking about the fact that the dive wasn't going to happen, it absolutely does.
Good
That
shove.
should result in KT being able to grab the objective.
And this area has 3 kills, 5 plates of gold, and he's even going to have this dragon as well for some additional stats. As Sylvie, I don't know about this one.
Well, he was trying to go for a cheeky little smite, and in fact, Nongshim do push them away. The health bars of both Call Me and Sylvie were decently large, and that's a mountain rift. And most of the time being shoved around by BDD. Just to hold on to him is perfect. Actually, look at it. Oh, no!
Oh, no!
He's just not going to be able to make that one work. Sort of tries to ult, but then ults into the wall and then dies because he gets pulled into the turret.
Yeah, that is rough.
Well, speaking of purple, Shelly going to be ridden here down the mid lane.
Yeah, they didn't commit it topside, but they will get it here mid.
Yep, looking for that bit of extra damage as Dundun's making his way in. Weave as well just delivers BDD to the fight. As Dundun gonna get thrown around. The seismic shove misses. That's very important for Dundun, but it's just gonna buy him a few seconds of time. As Beryl soaks the CC, the Acathian Rain. Oh my goodness, Call Me gonna get thrown back in. As Peter trying to be the hero. Killer Instinct, okay. As Jiwoo, he oversteps, but he still manages to help get the kill onto Deft. It's not gonna win them the fight, but it at least achieved the objective that he was after. It's just still Nongshim trading down once again. Yeah, a KT series every time.
Yes.
And in some other series, you know that you can take a bit of a break, right? In a pro series, in the mid-game, you can take a break. You can go to the bathroom. Not here, because we are fighting once again. Call Me is going to get ulted into the backline as Perfect is just 1 versus 5, and he doesn't really like those odds. It's still going to take a while for him to go down, but go down he will. And that is going to be a 1-for-0. And BDD is just farming the bottom pick, but instead they were picking a team fight. And that is not what they were prepared for, as Beryl might not have been prepared for this either, as okay, he's kind of by himself, but he does have the rest of the crew turning up. Killer Instinct does come in, Beryl goes down as Deft has ulted, but he has to contend with Dundun, and I think he might be able to do that. Sylvie's extraordinarily low, and now Perfect is looking to lock down the rest of them. The Udyr will be taken out, and now is it just Baron time? I guess maybe it is, as without Call Me, Jiwoo is pretty low as well, almost.
Going over to KT.
And now it could even be the Mountain Soul, because that's up in about 40 seconds. As Pyoshik looks for Call Me here. Cease and Desist is going to come down, but it's a battle on 2 fronts. Perfect going to dive right in, and that means Jiwoo has to hit him. He can't hit the squishy members of KT. And now Peter going to get thrown back. The buffer was decent, and he's actually going to keep himself alive, but the tree not going to be so lucky. Deft Killer Instinct flashes on in, and is going to be able to take down Call Me, and I think that might have been the back-breaking moment if it hadn't happened already.
Yeah, with these really crucial team fights around objectives, that soul fight, the biggest one. And KT, I mean, they pushed up super far. They didn't get an inhibitor. They could just easily walk out now. And Nongshim, I mean, there's just not really an angle to turn on this. They probably should just respect the fact that these 3 members could buy enough time for BDD.
Oh, there's a cease and desist. They just throw the tree.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, into the brush. And I think Nongshim, like, trying to look for something with KT split, but the problem is they have no information. KT, they can see all of these plays coming from a mile away because they have everything in the area. Of course, they actually don't have very much vision because they haven't gone back to reset in a really long time. But there's only so many places Nongshim can come from because the map for them is so small.
Because he has the Nashor's Tooth, but it just doesn't hurt people.
Well, this wall also doesn't hurt people, but it does put people in positions to get hurt as Pyoshik goes so deep onto Jiwoo, but he can just tank them up. They have to just run away as now Call Me, he's gone the wrong direction. He was thinking about trying to back as he does manage to sidestep the Vault Breaker, gets himself the reset, but it just doesn't matter. Pyoshik able to lock that one down. Basically a solo kill there as a few assists did manage to come on through, and KT will collect this Baron. And I think it might just be game over. 9,000 gold is the lead. It's another Baron, so that is going to be over 10k. This is Talia's support.
He's double James Bond.
Yeah, he's just making sure. He's two James. He's a Sean Connery and Timothy Dalton.
Oh my God.
He's both of them.
No Pierce Bronson though.
Pierce Bronson?
He needs he needs to be 0021.
Yeah, exactly. And no Daniel Craig either, so he needs to definitely get quite a few more assists in this game. We'll see whether it does have enough time in it, as this Nexus turret going down is telling me that maybe we won't get to a third James Bond, as pulled in is Dindin, and oh no, he's not as tanky as anyone on KT as Cease and Desist goes in on top of the Tristana. Jiwoo's going to be pulled out by the all-out of Perfect, who's underneath the turret for quite some time. Peter evaporates though, and it's a triple kill for Deft. KT chasing for kills here is probably not recommended because there's a game they could win, but instead they're angry. They're going to get the Quadra for Deft.
They could maybe get a Penta here on the Sylvie.
Yeah, trying to keep Sylvie in combat here is the best that they can do, but I don't know whether they can do it for quite long enough.
I don't know.
All right, okay, they're slowing him down as much as they can. Deft, can you get in there? The burst fire comes down, the seismic off, and that is the pentakill for Deft. The longest extension on a penta I've seen in a while, but he'll take it. And that is KT with the series.
Pentakill for Deft. BDD is crushing the early game. And sure, this series got real KT, but at the end of the day,
we do manage to get that moment there as well, as I imagine the camera guy is probably telling him congratulations for your first pentakill as well. Everyone, that's why 4 people chasing after a Kaiser.
첫 펜타? 야 잠깐 나 끌게.
First Penta.
펜타.
Okay, Penta. Even Barrel is calling for it, dude.
The whole team. I feel like Deft wants it the least.
Perfect is getting it for him, man. He's pulling him out. Saying no flash. Please. Oh, such a wholesome
That
moment.
is such a wholesome moment. Yeah, Pyrrhic's like, oh, even I already have a penta.
And like I don't know, this KT team from week 1 to now has always just been such a fun team to watch because they do really feel like a family.
Yeah.
And they live and die by that. I feel like a lot of the time.
Thank you very much, guys. This is Ji-sun for the POG interview translation. Today we are here joined by the solo POG on the side of KT roster, Pyosik. Congratulations! It was a very close series between you and Nongshim. Yeah, especially like really early match in the weekend was really hard, but the result is amazing, so I'm happy with that. And also, you are back on the POG standings. How do you feel about that? I think I just got really lucky to win the POGs. Pyosik, you played Rao in the first game. Rao is currently a very popular pick over the meta, but you played the first Rao game today, this season. Why was that? I don't know. I just preferred other picks over Rao, and I was really confident playing into Rao. But today, our drafting kind of led me to playing Rao finally. And your early jungle pathing in game number 1 was really interesting and very smart. How did you plan out that jungle pathing? We had a very strong level 1 comp, and Vi is really weak early on, so I want to take advantage of that. So it was easy for me to kind of plan out the early game play. And we had several steal moments, especially the Herald steal was really decisive. I think that was the moment when Herald fight was happening when Deft was pushing bot by himself because we had 6 buffs. So we just wanted to buy time for Deft to take down the turrets. And then because we were pretty fed, I was able to go in and look for the steal. However, game 2 was not easy, and Nongshim managed to steal a game away from you. What was the biggest problem dealing with Nongshim today? I think their movement as a team was pretty strong, so we wanted to make sure that we have a good awareness of the map. So whenever someone's missing, we wanted to stay extra alert. And then game 3, I think it felt like KT was kind of taking the champions away that Nongshim prefers, like Vi and Zeri. Why was that? Because I kind of figured, removing Vi from them was a big factor, and also Deft was really confident in playing Zeri, and also about bottom lane matchup. And we had some Gromp moments in game 3. All the players were also really hyped up to see the Gromp finally secure a kill onto the enemy AD carry. Was that the moment that you guys are feeling that we're just gonna win the series? Not really. That kill didn't really give us a lot of confidence, but Kaisa, he kind of disappeared from our vision with a very low HP. So we were like, maybe that was the Grump? And then I got 300 gold in my pocket, so yeah, that felt really good. And at the end of game 3, finally, Deft got his first ever LCK pentakill. He has gotten several pentas over at the LPO, but first penta in the LCK. After 11 years of his professional career, he still had no penta in LCK when I had 2 pentas as a jungler. So when he was crying for the penta, we wanted to be really nice because the devil inside of me told me to steal that away, but we really wanted to make sure that we were being nice to him and let him take the penta after all those years. And Pyosik, you're having your birthday this upcoming Tuesday. Happy birthday to you. Is there anything you want for your birthday? Any gift in mind? Not really. I'm really grateful that after my return to the LCK, I was not expecting this much love and support coming from the fans, so I think I already received a huge gift from all of you. And KT Roaster, what is your resolution for the upcoming matches? Just like we prepare for the Nongshim series, I just want to make sure that we can stay alert and do our best in any kind of matches. And that was the interview from Pyosik from KT Roaster, and back to the space. Thank you.